Okay, so for this video, we're going to focus on the topic of perimeter and area of two-dimensional shapes, and also the Pythagoras formula, and also the basic trigonometry. Now, let's just start from for number 15. For each shape below, calculate the perimeter and the area. So, the first thing that you need to understand that we have the concept of perimeter and area. If you don't want to use a formula, actually that's fine. So, when we're talking about perimeter, it is actually just the distance around the shape. So for example, like this one over here, so if you want to find the perimeter, let's say I'm gonna start from this point, so I'm just like going to calculate or measure like the distance from here to here, and then going here, and then going back to your original place over here. So you're not going to use this one because this is not like the what do you call it, around the shape, it's inside the shape, right? So which means that if I want to find the perimeter of question A, here is this triangle, that'll be just like adding all of these numbers, right? So you don't use this one because again it's not outside the shape. I mean, it's not the side line, right? So it's just like 5 plus 5 plus 6, and that will be equals to 16, and don't forget that'll be in centimeter. Okay, next thing is the area. So okay, so most of the time if you're talking about area, it's just like base times height, but just remember guys, base and height should always be perpendicular to each other. So for example, like this one, if you're using the base as this one, and you cannot use this one as the height. Why? Because that is those two lines does not make a 90-degree angle. So we're going to use this one as the height because this is like it makes 90-degree angle. Okay, so this is, if this is the base, then this is the height, because again those two lines are perpendicular, so it forms a 90-degree angle. So this is, we're not going to use these two, right, for the area. And for the area of a triangle is the base times the height, but you need to divide it by 2. So I'm just going to times 6 times 4 divided by 2, and that will be equals to 12 centimeter square. Okay, question B in here. The first one is the perimeter. Again guys, the perimeter is just the distance around the shape. So this is a rectangle. If this is 11, this is 4, this is also going to be 11 meter, and this is going to be equals to 4 because these two are the same and these two are the same. Okay, now again, to find the perimeter, you only need to add all of the side length, which are these 4, right? So it'll be 11 plus 4 plus 11 plus 4, right? 11 plus 4 plus 11 plus 4. Okay, so just add all of them, you will get equals to 30 meter. Okay, that's the first one. And the next one is we're going to find the area. Again guys, for the area is just base and times height, but you don't need to divide this by 2. The one that you need to divide by 2 if it is a triangle, so it's like a rectangle or a what do you call, parallelogram, or maybe a square, you don't have to divide it by 2. So it's just base times height. So this is the base and this is the height, or you can say this is the length and this is the width. It's actually the same thing, yeah? So you only need to multiply those two numbers, and they'll be equals to 44 meter square. Okay, next question. I'm not gonna go to question D first because it's easier. So yeah, again guys, the perimeter is just like the distance around the shape. So in here, this is 12, this is 11. If this is a parallelogram, so which means that this is also going to be 12 centimeter, and this is also going to be 11 centimeter. So you only need to add these 4 number. Again, you don't use this one because that's inside the shape. So you're going to just add 12 plus 11 plus 12 plus 11. Sorry, 12 plus 11 plus 12 plus 11, that'll be equals to 23, 46 I think. Yeah, 46, and that will be in centimeter. Okay, and then the next one is the area. Again guys, it's just base times height. So if we're using the base as this one, so this is going to be the height because they're perpendicular. So it's just 12 times 10, that'll be equals to 120, and that'll be in centimeter square. Okay, next question. I'm gonna go back to question C this time. So in here, to find the perimeter, again we need to add all of the side length, but the problem here in this shape, we don't know this one and this one, right? So we're going to use a Pythagoras formula for this one. So since we have a right angle triangle, as you can see that if I take this triangle over here, that is a right angle triangle, right? So I'll just take one over here. So basically guys, this one over here is actually has the same exact shape, but this is like, it's just like flip, right? So just take one of them. I'm gonna maybe take that one. I'm gonna like add some points here. Let's say we have A, B, C, D over here, and maybe I'm gonna add the name of the like E and F, for example. So for this triangle here, that will be FBC, right? And then this is gonna be 90 degree. Here we can see that this is 90 degree. And well, to find the length of this one here, is just, we know that if this is 20, so from here to here is also 20, right? So because from A to B is 40, and we have this sign here, which means that they are the same, meaning that 40 minus 20, so we still have 20 left, right? So divide that by 2, because this is these two are the same, so there'll be 10 and 10, right? We have about 10 plus 20 plus 10 equals to 40. Okay, so yeah, there you go. So and then the next thing that we know, that here is 10 hectometer, and then we have FC here is actually the same thing with the E. Okay, yeah, forgot about the E. So that'll be 24 hectometer. Now we can find the length of BC by using the Pythagoras formula. So the Pythagoras formula will be C squared equals to A squared plus B squared. So the first thing that you need to do first is to determine the C in this the C in the Pythagoras formula, and that will be always in front of the 90-degree angle. So this guy over here is the C. So let's name that with C. Don't get mixed up with this C, okay? So it's just this C is going to be this guy over here, the one inside of the formula. Okay, so as for the A and B, it doesn't matter which one is which, as long as you don't switch it with the C. So I can have this is A and this is B, or the other way around. If I want this as the A and this is the B, it's gonna still work. Okay, so so the C is what we're looking for here. So the C squared equals to A squared. Then it's gonna be 10 squared plus 24 squared, and then I'm just gonna add that using the calculator. There will be 24 squared plus 100, there will be 676 if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it is 676, and then C will be equals to square root both sides, and that will be equals to 26 hectometer. So okay, so which means that this is going to be 26 hectometer, and this one is also going to be 26 because they are the same, right? Okay, now let's go back again here, guys. Now let's talk about the perimeter first. So which means that the perimeter is just adding all of the sides, right? So how many sides do we have? We have actually 4 of them, right? Because this is quadrilateral. So you can see that in here we have 40, and we have 20, and then we have 26, and this is 26. So just add all of them together. I'm gonna write down 40 plus 26 plus 20, and then plus 26, and they'll be equals to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 112. Yes, it is in hectometer. Okay, so the next one is the area. Okay, sorry. So the area in here, guys, you need to see the formula. Actually, we have a formula for this one. You can actually go to the last page of the, I think did I give you? I forgot. Yeah, in here, yeah, it is. We have the area of trapezoid, which is this one, right? So it's at the top plus base divided by 2 times height. So what is top and base in here? Those are the two lines that are parallel. Okay, so in here, just gonna write down A plus B over 2. Yeah, so I'm gonna write it here. So the area will be equals to like A plus B divided by 2 multiplied by the height. And then in here, the A and B here are the two lines that are parallel in this trapezium or trapezoid. So these two lines are the two lines that are parallel. So this line is parallel to this one. So those two are going to be A and B. Okay, so the height, which one is the height? Again, guys, if you choose one of them as the one line as the base, so the height should be perpendicular. As you can see that the one that's perpendicular is this one over here, or this one over here is also going to be perpendicular. So this is going to be the H. So if you put that all into the formula, there'll be 20 plus 40 divided by 2, right? 20, 40 divided by 2, and then multiply by the height, which is 24 over here. Okay, so 20 per 40 is 60, 60 divided by 2 is 30, and 30 multiplied by 24, that will be equals to 720. That will be in hectometer square. Okay, number 16, calculate the perimeter and area from the shape below. Again, the perimeter and area, the same concept, guys. So this shape over here, if you want to find the perimeter, you only need to add this, and then this, and then this, and then this. Remember, you don't add these two lines because those lines are inside the shape. Okay, so yeah, let's just focus on the number here. So if this is 15 decimeter, this is going to be also 15 decimeter. So I forgot to put this one, guys. Actually, this is a rectangle, so as you can see. Okay, and then this one is like a half a circle or semicircle, and this is also a semicircle. So if I add these two, that'll be a circle, right? So you can like just multiply that by 2, or just combine that into into a circle. So the perimeter here is that. So let me just like write down ABCD here as the vertex in here, ABCD. So the perimeter will be like from A to B, but this is the arc, right? So I'm gonna write that arc AB, right? And then plus BC over here, right? Plus BC, and then plus CD, but the CD is not the straight line, but it's gonna be the arc. So plus arc of CD, and then plus D to A. It's a straight line, so D to A. Okay, now as you can see, guys, if I'm combining the arc AB with arc CD, which is this one, and this one over here, that will make a shape of a full circle. So if I add this arc AB and arc CD, that will be the perimeter of a circle, or we call it the circumference, right? So I'm just gonna rewrite that again. So guys, so arc AB plus arc CD, and then plus BC plus DA. So I've just rearranged that so that the arc AB and BC are like next to each other. Then again, guys, if I add those two, there will be a full circle, right? So remember, the perimeter in here is the same thing as the circumference of a circle. So this one is going to be 2 pi r. If you see the formula again, guys, the circumference or the perimeter of a circle, we have the formula over here is going to be 2 pi r. Did I sorry, guys, I haven't write that. Okay, later on maybe I'm gonna write it down. Yeah, okay, that will be 2 pi r. And then the next one, wait, that will be 2 pi r is the arc AB plus arc CD, and we know that BC and DA are both of them are 15, so this is 15 and this is also 15. And then since we know that the R in here, okay, so this is going to be the diameter of the circle, so which means that the radius is just half of that, right? So there'll be just 14 divided by 2, and the radius will be equals to 7, right? So because 14 divided by 2 is equals to 7, so that'll be 2 times pi times 7, and then I'm just gonna add these two, that'll be 30, and then you can just like put this into the calculator. They'll be around 73.98, or we can round it up. They'll be like 74 in decimeter. So this is the perimeter of the shape. Now let's talk about the area. I'm gonna make this a little smaller, guys. So again, guys, the area for here is that you can actually determine how many shapes do you have, how many basic shape do we have in here. So actually we have 2, guys. So yeah, we have 3 actually, but if the 2 shape we combine them, that will be a circle. So this is like the first one, right? This one is a rectangle, and the next one is going to be this one. That's half a circle. This is also a half circle. If we combine those two, that will be a full circle, right? So I'm gonna write down maybe 2, shape number 2, and shape number 3. So which means that if I'm going to find the total area, that'll be the area number 1 plus area number 2, and then plus area number 3, and we can combine that. These two is going to be the area of a circle, right? Okay, now the first one is the area 1. It is a rectangle, so this rectangle here. Remember that to find the formula to find the area of a rectangle, you only need to multiply the length and the width. So this is the length and this is the width, so that'll be just 15 times 14. That is for the area number 1. For the area number 2 and 3, we can actually again combine those two. That'll be pi r squared, because the area of a circle is pi r squared. So this is going to be the combination of these two. Okay, now we can just like change the r in here. Previously, you know that the r is 7 because this 14 is the diameter, right? So the to find the radius is just divide this diameter by 2. So that'll be 15 times 14, and then plus pi times 7 square. And then again, you can just put all of this number into the calculator, and you'll get around 363.9 300, sorry, I'm gonna write it here, 363.9, or you can round it up until 364. That'll be in decimeter square. Okay, next up, number 17. The perimeter of a rectangle is 140 centimeter. If the length is 4 times the width, calculate the length, the width, and the area. So it is a good idea if you just like draw the shape first. So this is, for example, like a very rough yeah, drawing of a rectangle, and then see what happened here. It said that the length is 4 times the width. So if we have this is SW as the width, so the length is going to be 4W, because yeah, it's 4 times, right? 4 times the width. So if this is W, this is 4W. So if this is W, this is 4W, this is also going to be 4W, and this is also going to be W. And again, since we have this perimeter of the rectangle is 140, so which means that we can just add all of these, right? Out of all of them, you'll get 140, right? So that's the very basic concept. So let's just add them up. So there'll be 4W plus W first, plus the 4W plus W, they'll be equals to 140, because 40 is over here, right? And then add them together, they'll be 10W equals to 140. So I don't really need the equal sign over here. So, and then a very simple algebra, guys. So you only need to divide both sides by 10, right? So it'll be 140 divided by 10, and the W is equals to 14. So which means that this guy is going to be 14. So if you want to find the length, right, because we know that it's 4 times, right? The length is 4 times the width. So the length will be equals to, so I'm going to write that here. So the L is going to be 4W, and that'll be just 4 multiplied by 14. And if I use the calculator, guys, you can have that'll be equals to 56. Yeah, I forgot to put the unit. Yeah, this is in centimeter, and also this is into centimeters. So we have found this one and this one. And since we know the length and the width, so you can find the area, right? So the area is just like length times width. So I'm gonna write right over here. So the area is gonna be just length times width, and the length is 56 and the width is 14. Just multiply those two numbers, and then we will get equals to 784. And don't forget that we need the unit, which is in centimeter square. Okay, number 18. The length of a rectangle is 2x plus 5, and the width is x minus 2. And it doesn't say anything about unit, so just leave it like that. If the perimeter of the rectangle is 132 centimeters, so I think I forgot to put this in centimeter, guys. So you should put that in centimeter. Okay, if the perimeter of the rectangle is 132 centimeter, calculate the value of x, the length, the width, and the area. Okay, so again, guys, it's a very good idea that you need to draw the rectangle first. So let's just draw a rough rectangle like here, and it said that the length is 2x plus 5, so this is 2x plus 5 in centimeter, right? And then the width is x minus 2, so this is x minus 2 in centimeter. Okay, so which means that this is going to be also 2x plus 5 centimeter, right? And this is also going to be x minus 2 centimeter, right? Yeah, because they're the same. So this one and this one are pairs, like they will be the same. Okay, now it said that the perimeter of the rectangle is 132 centimeters. So basically it's the same thing, right? So the same thing like before. If you're talking about perimeter, you only need to add all of the side lengths. So this plus this plus this plus this equals to 132. That's it, right? So let's just write down the algebraic equation. That will be 2x plus 5, right, from here, and then plus x minus 2 from here, and plus 2x plus 5 from here, and then plus x minus 2 from here. That'll be equals to 132 here, 132. Okay, so simplify the equation, and here we have 2x plus x plus 2x plus x. They'll be 6x, right? So we have 2x plus x plus 2x plus x, right? And then we have plus 5 minus 2 plus 5 minus 2, they'll be the same thing. 10 minus 4, it'll be 6, yeah. They'll be plus 6 equals to 132. Okay, now just solve this simple algebra equation. So we need to subtract both sides by 6. That'll be like this, and 6x will be equals to 126, and then divide both sides by 6. That'll be equals to 21. Okay, so the x is equals to 21, so we have found the value of x. Now let's find the length and the width. This is going to be easy because you only need to substitute the value of the w into the equation. For the length and the width. Okay, now since we know that the length is the 2x plus 5, right? The length is 2x plus 5, so which means that the length is equals to 2. So I'm going to just write down 2x plus 5, and then since we know that the x is 21, so substitute this x by 21. That's it, right? So that'll be equals to 2 multiplied by 21 plus 5, and this is 42 plus 5, and that'll be equals to 47, and it'll be in centimeter. That is going to be the length. And the same thing also with the width, right? The width. So the width, so we know that the width is this one here, that x minus 2. So that'll be, I'm gonna write that x minus 2, and because we know that the x is 21, so that'll be just 21 minus 2, and that'll be equals to 19 centimeter. That's the width. Okay, now the last one is the area. It's pretty easy, guys, because we know the length and the width, so that'll be just L times W. And since we know that the L is 47, the length and the width is 19, just multiply those two numbers, 47 times 19, you'll get equals to 893. And don't forget, that will be in centimeter square. Okay, number 19, a land is 20 meter long and 50 meter wide. If the cost to build fences is 20,000 rupiah per meter and the cost to maintain a square meter of the land is 1,500 rupiah per meter square, calculate the cost to build fences around the land and the cost to maintain the whole land. So again, guys, illustrate. If you can illustrate it. I'm gonna illustrate it over here. So that'll be like a land is said that with 20 meter long and 15 meter wide for, so it's approximately like this, for example. So this is going to be 20 meter over here, and this is going to be 15 meter over here. So this is actually is going to be a rectangle. And then it said that if the cost to build fences is this one per meter and the cost to maintain the square meter of this one here, so to answer the cost to build fences, so remember that if we build fences, that will be like around the shape, right? So the first thing for this one, for question A, it's just finding the perimeter first and then just multiply it by this one because this is the cost to build per meter. So again, I'm gonna write down A over here. So I'm gonna find the perimeter first, and that will be like, this is 20 meter and this is 15 meters. So if I don't want to use the formula, I'm just gonna like add all of them. That will be 20 plus 15 plus 20 plus 15, that'll be equals to 70 meters. So the fences that we're going to make is 70 meter. So which means that the cost to build this fences is going to be 70 multiplied by 20,000 rupiah, right? And that will be equals to 14 and then 00000. So that will be like 1,400,000 rupiah. Don't forget to write down the unit, okay? Okay, the next one is the cost to maintain the whole land. And in here, the concept for this question is going to be an area, because it said that the cost to maintain a square meter, is that a square meter of the land is per meter square. Then again, guys, when we have like square unit, which means that it is going to be the area. So we're just like going to find the area first. Okay, so for question B, find the area. Since this is a rectangle, so the area is just like length times width. That'll be just 20 multiplied by 15, and that'll be equals to 300 in meter square. Now the cost, because this is to maintain the square, to maintain the what do you call it, the land, is this one here over here per meter square. So you only need to multiply that 300 with 1500, right? So that'll be equals to 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, or 450,000 rupiah. Okay, so number 20, for this right angle triangle, determine the length of side AB, develop sine alpha, cosine alpha, tangent alpha, and the angle size of alpha. Okay, now for this one, it said that it is a right angle. So when you see in here, the most like makes sense in terms of the right angle is over here, right? So just put that right angle over here. So the first thing that we need to find is the length of side AB. So this one over here, right? So we can use the Pythagoras formula. I'm gonna write down the formula, which is c squared equals to a squared plus b squared. Okay, now like I mentioned before, that if you want to use this Pythagoras formula, the first thing that we need to find is the c. Okay, so that is the first thing I need to see. So in here, the c is going to be this one over here, guys. So why? Because it's in front of the 90-degree angle. Okay, so that's the c. That is what we're looking for, right? That AB line here, the length of that AB. So I'm gonna just write down AB over here. That'll be in square. and then that's what we're looking for. And then the A, it doesn't matter, again, A and B doesn't matter which one is which. So just put, for example, the A is 12 and the B is 16. It doesn't really matter which one is which. Okay, so you can swap them. Okay, 14 square plus 16 square, and that'll be equals to 144 plus, wait, let me calculate that, I forgot. 16 square will be equals to 256. So if I add them together, they'll be 400. So they'll be equals to 400. So this is not the A length of AB. This is the length of AB square. Okay, so I forgot to put this one here. You should write this down. And so, which means that the AB is, we need to square root both sides. That'll be the square root of 400, and that'll be equals to 20 meter. Okay, so we're done for question A. Now let's go to question B. So we have sine, cosine, and tangent of alpha. And here, what we need to see if we want to use this trigonometry ratio, so we need to focus on the what do you call it, the angle first. So in here, the angle that we're going to use is this one over here. So we need to name all of the sides with hypotenuse, and then we have opposite, and we have the adjacent. So the hypotenuse is the same thing like the C that we just found by when we're using the Pythagoras formula. So the C is going to be over here. So this is going to be the hypotenuse, and then the as the for opposite and the adjacent, it depends on the where the angle that we're going to use. So the angle is that we're going to use is this one. So which means that the opposite is going to be like in here. So it's like the opposite of the angle, right? It's in front of the angle that we're going to use. So this is going to be the opposite. So which means that we leave only this one, the adjacent. So the adjacent will be over here. Okay, now in here we can actually see what happened. So I'm gonna write down here the value. So the opposite is 12 meter, right? This one, and then the adjacent is equals to 16 meter, is over here, and the last one is the hypotenuse, is the one that we just found, which is the AB. This one here is 20 meter. Okay, now 20 meter. Now, to find the sine, cosine, and tangent, so you can memorize the sah, chah, toa. Okay, sah, chah, toa. So sah means S is for sine, O is for opposite, H as for the hypotenuse. So which means that if I have so question B is going to be sine, so sine alpha equals to sine, and then O is opposite, right? The opposite over the hypotenuse. Then because we already know the value of the opposite and the hypotenuse, just write down those two values. And remember guys, if you have the same exact unit, you don't need to write them down here because it will cancel each other. So it's just 12 divided by 20, and then if we simplify this, divide both sides by 4, that'll be 3 over 5. So remember guys that you need to answer this in the simplest form of fraction. Okay, so the next question is going to be the cosine of alpha. Okay, so we're going to use this one, right? So in here, the C stands for cos, A is for adjacent, and then H is for the hypotenuse. Okay, and since again we can see from here that the adjacent is 16 and the hypotenuse is 20, and again simplify this fraction, there will be 4 over 5. Okay, next one is the tangent, right? This tangent over here, right? So we're going to use this time, right? Towa, right? So T stands for tan, is O stands for opposite, and then A stands for adjacent. Then again, you can use the value over here. That'll be 12 over 16, or simplify that become 3 over 4. Okay, the last one is the angle size of alpha. So the angle size of this angle, you can actually use one of them. You don't need to use all of them, just use one of them, and you will have the same exact value. For example, if I'm using sine, so if I have sine alpha is equals to 3 over 5, right, from this value here, this calculation, so which means that the alpha will be equals to the sine inverse of 3 over 5. Okay, you can actually use the same thing for if you want to use the cosine, for example, but you need to use the 4 over 5, right? Because the cosine value of that angle is 4 over 5. So if cosine alpha is 4 over 5, then alpha will be equals to cosine inverse of 4 over 5. And actually, if you put this into the calculator, you will get the same exact value, right? So I'm going to write down here 3 over 5. That will be 36.86, or I'm going to just like run it up. That'll be, yeah, I'm gonna write out at 36.86. 9 degree. So if you use this one, you'll get the same thing. If you use tangent, you also get the same thing. Okay, number 21, from the image below, calculate the value of x and y. Okay, so for this one, you need to decide whether, which one do you think you can find first. Is it x or the y? Or you can like do both of them. Okay, for example, if you want to find the x over here, it's not going to, it's going to be hard because you will have this is as y and this is as 7, right? So you have two variables in one triangle. So if you choose to find the y, that is going to be easier because we know that this triangle over here is a right angle triangle and we have like only one of unknown what do we call one of unknown side. Okay, so if I put that, just like gonna like name all of them so that you can see what's happening here. So I'm gonna A, B, C, D, for example, like that. The one that I just took over here is the ABC, so you can see it if I like put here. I'm gonna like put it here. So the ABC, I'm gonna name that all. There'll be A over here, B over here, and C over here. And as we know that this is a right angle triangle, right? This is right angle, and this is 2 centimeter. And this is 7 centimeter from here and here, and this is the y centimeter that we don't know yet. So we can find the value of the value of y by using the Pythagoras formula because this is a right angle triangle. So let's do that. So let's write down the formula first. There will be c squared equals to a squared plus b squared. Then again, like I said before, you need to find the c first. The c is always going to be in front of the 90-degree angle, so it's going to be this one over here. So this is going to be the c, the 7 one. So you put the 7 like this over here, right? Because that's the value of c. So again, guys, the a and b doesn't matter which one is which. So let's say this is a and this is b. I'm gonna put the a as 2 and that'll be square, and the b, that'll be the y. Okay, so again, this is a very simple algebra. Just like for example, if you want to like square those first, that's fine. 7 squared is 49, and then 2 squared is 4. And then subtract both sides by 4. That'll be 49 minus 4 equals to y squared, and that'll be 45 equals to y squared. And since we have a square, so we need to square root both of them, so you only have the y, so they'll be just square root of 45. You can actually put this into the calculator, guys. So the square root of 45, if you simplify, that will be 3 square root of 5, and that will be just equals to y. Okay, so we have found the value of y. So if you have found the value of y, you can actually substitute this by this one, right? 3 square root of 5. Okay, so yeah, so if we have that, so we can find the x value by using the other triangle that we have, right? So the other triangle that we have is this triangle over here, 1 2 3, right? Okay, so that triangle is the triangle. So that's not moving. Okay, I forgot to put this one. So yeah, 1 2 and 3. Okay, yeah, so that triangle, I'm gonna just like make that and put it over here, right? And that'll be a over here, and then d, and then c over here. Oh, sorry. So this is d, and this is gonna be the right angle, right? This one and this one. And what we know here is that this is x centimeter. We don't know that yet. We know that this is 4 centimeter, and we know this one is the 3 square root of 5 centimeter, right? Because this y value is this guy, right? So again, we can use the Pythagoras formula again to find the value of x. Okay, so let's write down the formula first. That'll be c squared equals to a squared plus b squared. And again, I'm gonna repeat it again. So you need to find the value of c, the c first in this triangle, and this triangle. The c is going to be here, this one over here, because it's in front of the 90-degree angle. Okay, so that'll be 3 square root of 5. So put it over here. So make sure that you put like a bracket. Yeah, it's a very, very important. Okay, that'll be equals to the a and b, doesn't matter. Let's say this is a and this is b. So the a, I'm gonna put that 4. There'll be 4 square. You can use bracket for this one, and then the b is going to be the x square, and like this. And then if you see that like it's like a single number here, you don't actually need to use the bracket. That's fine. If it's a negative number, then you should use it, but for this one we don't really need it, so I'm just going to write down like this, the same thing like this one, right? So the reason why I'm putting the bracket over here, because like we have like two things over here, right? That is like the different form. The first one is like an integer, the other one is like a square root of something. So yeah, you need to put the bracket. Okay, now we need to like subtract both sides by 4 square. So I'm going to write down 3 square root of 5 square, and then minus 4 square, that will be equals to x square. So just put all of this into the calculator, and then you will get 29 equals to x squared, and then square root of both sides, it will be square root of 29 equals to x. So you have the value of x and y. Okay, number 22. A person is standing in front of a black hole like shown below. If the height of a person is 145 centimeter from the ground to his eyes, the distance of the person to the black hole is 8 meter, and the angle of elevation from the person to the top of the black hole is 30 degree. Calculate the height of the black hole. So we can see what's happening here. So so the first thing that we need to do is to mark which one is this one. I mean, from where to where from the for the image, and so on so on. Okay, so this 145 is said that is the height of the person, but from the ground to his eye. So this is the ground level, and as for example, like this is the eye. So this the length from here to here, right? Is going to be 145 centimeter. That's the first one. So we can see that this is like a rectangle, right? So this from here to here is also going to be 145 centimeter, right? That's the first thing. Okay, the next one is the distance of the person to the flagpole is 8 meters. So we can actually take a point from the bottom here to here. That'll be 8. And again, because we know that this is a rectangle, so this guy over here is also gonna be 8 meter, right? Okay, now the angle of elevation from the person to the top of the flagpole is 30 degree. So the angle that's made from here is going to be 30 degrees. So from this line, like this one. So here we can actually conclude that if it is 90 degrees, so this is also going to be 90 degrees, right? So the height, calculate the height of the flagpole, like from the ground. That will be the distance from this point to this point. As you can see that we can actually find this distance first, right? So to find the calculate the height of the flagpole, you can just add this and this, and you will get the total height of the flagpole. So I'm just gonna focus on this one over here. We can see that this is a right angle triangle. Then again, because we're talking about Pythagoras, and then we're always going to talk about right angle triangle. So I'm gonna just take that triangle, this triangle 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna put it up here. So let's name that. I'm gonna name the vertex so that you can see what happened here. This is point A, for example. This is point B, and this is point C. I'm gonna name this with point D, and this is point E, for example. Okay, so we're just gonna focus for the first one is the ABC, the triangle of ABC. So ABC. Okay. So A, B, C, same thing. Okay, now we have right over here, and we have 30 degree over here, and then we have 8 meter over here. So since we want to find the BC, right? So let's name this. I'm gonna name that with X, right? So with X. So I don't know this. I'm gonna use the meter for the unit because this is in meter. So I'm gonna use meter also for this one. Okay, now to find this angle here, the length of BC, we can use these two information. Okay, so by using the ratio of the trigonometry, the soh chahatwa, right? Soh chahatwa, we can actually find that length. So the first thing, if we want to use this concept, we need to first find which one is the opposite, hypotenuse, and also the adjacent. So the hypotenuse is always going to be in front of the 90 degree, right? So this is going to be the hypotenuse, and then the opposite is going to be always in front of the angle that we're going to use, because we only know this angle, and that is what the angle that we're going to use, and this is going to be the opposite, which means that this is going to be the adjacent, right? So you can see that in mathematics, you only need to connect the value that is given, and then with the question, right? So we know that we have the angle and also the adjacent, and what we want to know is the opposite. So you can actually see it from here. So we're going to find the opposite by having the adjacent, so the O and the A. So in here, the O and the A is this one, right? It's TOA. So we're going to use the tangent. So I'm going to write down the formula. So which means that the tangent alpha or tangent theta, so theta is the angle, so let's name this with theta. You can actually name that with any other Greek alphabet. So I'm going to use theta for this one. So that'll be equals to opposite over adjacent, right? Because it's TOA. So since we know that the angle here is 30 degree, so I can change that into 30 degree, right? Equals to the opposite over here is the X. That is what we want to know. So let's name that with X, and then the adjacent is 8, this one over here, right? And so we 8 meter. Okay, so to find the X, we only need to multiply both sides by 8, right? So that'll be 8 meter times, I'm just gonna use the sorry, the unit. I'm gonna use unit later. So that'll be 8 times tangent 30 degree equals to x. Again, guys, what you actually doing here is to like multiply by 8 for both sides, because we can cancel this one. So it leaves only x over here, right? So this is just 8 times tangent 30. It's the same thing with this one. Yeah, so I'm gonna erase all of that. Yeah. So you should have known how to do that, and then just like use the calculator to find this value. Okay, and that will be 8 over 3. If you're using that, it will be 8 square root of 3 over 3. Or since in here we need a decimal, so convert that into decimal. I'm gonna use 2 decimal point. That will be 4.62. 4.62 in meter. Okay, now we have already know that this is 4.62, so which means that, right, the total height of the flagpole is going to be equals to from C to B, right, and then add it with B to D, right, and that'll be 4.62 meter plus 145 centimeter. So we have don't be too rushed, guys, because we have different unit here, so you need to change or convert one of them. It doesn't matter which one is which, because this is, I mean, like, the question doesn't need you to convert to a specific measurement. So I'm gonna change this into centimeter. So if I change this into centimeter, that'll be 462 centimeter plus 145 centimeter, and if I add those two, 462 plus 145, and that'll be equals to 607. So this is going to be the height of the pole. Number 23, the area of a rectangle is 200 centimeters squared. If the length is 25 centimeter, what is the width? Again, guys, we just like connect all of the given information, and with the question here, we have the area, and then we have the length, and we want to find the width. So we need to connect all of them. There will be just the formula of area, right? Because we know that the formula of area of a rectangle is just like length times width, and since we know the area is 200, so put 200 over here, and then the length is 25, so 25 over here, and the width we don't know that yet. Okay, so very simple algebra. So divide both sides by 25. That'll be 200 divided by 25 equals to W, and divide this, that'll be just equals to 8, and that'll be in centimeter. Okay, number 24, I think I like this one is like 5 centimeter more. Yeah, sorry guys, it's typo. So yeah, I'm gonna read it. 24, the perimeter of a rectangle is 16 centimeter if the length is 5 centimeter more than the width. Sorry, more than the width, it means like it's longer. Yeah, so sorry guys, a little bit up here than the width. So what is the width? I mean, like, what's the measurement of the width? So again, we can just like draw the rectangle here. So we know that let's say if the width is W, so which means that the length is W plus 5, because it says more than. So more than means like you add them, right? So this is going to be also W plus 5, and this is going to be also W. So it said that the perimeter is 16, so we know that the concept of perimeter is like adding all of the side length, right? So that'll be P equals to this W plus 5, and then plus this W, and then plus this W plus 5, and then plus this, right? And that'll be equals to 16, because we know that the perimeter is 16. So simplify the expression on the left side, and that'll be, how many W do you have? 4W plus 10, right? 4W plus 10 equals to 16. I'm gonna move that 10 to the, subtract both sides by 10. That'll be 16 minus 10, and 4W equals to 6, and then divide both sides by 4, and you will get 3 over 2, or 1.5, and that will be in centimeter. Okay, number 25, this is gonna be the last question for this video. So by using the Pythagorean theorem from the image below, calculate the value of x. So this is actually, it's a lot easier than the previous question, right? So in here we have a rectangle triangle. We have 7, 4, and x centimeter, and we want to find the value of x. So remember that when you want to use the Pythagoras formula, you need to make sure that it is a right angle triangle, and we have this sign over here, which means that this is a right angle triangle. So let's write down the formula. C squared equals to A squared plus B squared. And again, like I said before, you need to find the C first before you find the A and B, because A and B can be swapped each other, but not the C. So the C is going to be always in front of the 90 degree. This is a 90-degree angle, and it's in front of that is that one, the X one. So this is going to be the C value. So the A and B doesn't matter which one is which. So I'm gonna use the 7 as the A and B as the 4. So yeah, let's just substitute all of them. The C is X, so I'm gonna write down X over here, and then the A is 7, so they'll be over here, and the B is going to be 4, so it's gonna be like this, right? Okay, 7 squared is 49, and then 4 squared is 16. So if I add them together, they'll be 4, 5, 65, is it? Yeah, 65. So which means that we can square root both sides. It'll be square root of 55, 65, and that's it. You don't have to change this into decimal.